Shalom to the elect, giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shem El Shai, by Shem HaKakodash, and giving double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone who well, peace and salutation to the first fruits, the elect, so are the prophets and the rest of the 1/3 of the believers, the men, women, and the children who have been predestined for salvation on this side. Shem El Malcolm is a mob from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp in Philadelphia, coming with another week lesson. And this lesson is just off of I would say a meditation that I had, which really was like a dream in a sense. And basically what ended up is I remember it was like I was like somewhere like around my old neighborhood where where I grew up, my mom is and such, and I always think about being in my room and looking down to the rear and out pretty much the window, which I believe that would represent just looking at the future. And I remember this like coworker that I'm not really that familiar with. He was pretty much he was telling about his past, and like particular coworkers and stuff. They do like they have done like jail time and have like felonies and stuff like that, right? One of the unique things, and he was kind of basically speaking about how where he kind of been and stuff. And I remember him mentioning Virginia, at one point and stuff. So that's one of the things that stuck out, Virginia. And just for the sake of it, I'm gonna look up Virginia real quick. Which I believe that's I believe it really is go back to Gad, but let me see something. It says Virginia originates from the Latin word virginalis, meaning virgin or maiden. Okay. It was given to state in honor of Queen Elizabeth I. It says the Virgin Queen, right? And was also used as a metaphor for the untouched new lands of North America. Okay. The name also connects to the Roman name, which is Virginus, and the historic figure of Virginia, a Roman maiden who was killed to preserve her honor. But the main point right there is said about that Virgin Queen, all right, used as a metaphor for the new lands of America, basically being untouched, okay? And we know obviously that scriptural, which scripture, I think about Isaiah, was that the 47th chapter? Isaiah chapter 47, and this is the point is verse 5. Okay, and there's another scripture I'm looking for. I think it might be in Nahum. Let me just double check and get that one. I think it's the 3rd chapter. Okay. Just give me a moment, because I had just woke up from, basically the whole thing, right? And such. There's no sorry. It might be in Jeremiah. This is Revelation, chapter 18. All right, in verse 6 it says, "Reward her, being America Babylon, as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double." Okay. "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." Okay. And let's even look at that word for sorrow. It just means mourning, pentos. And I was gonna check and see what like one of the other translations say and such. Yep. So, and this is in the NLT. It says, "She have glorified herself and lived in luxury. So match it now with torment and sorrow. She boasted in her heart, I am no queen on my throne. I am a queen on my throne, pardon me. I am no helpless widow, and I have no reason to mourn." Okay? This is the place of, as they say, the unwalled villages, right? But this place, it will get touched, okay? On nations such as Russia, all right? Gog and Magog of Russia, all right? So, this is Isaiah 47, and this is gonna be verse 47. Yeah. I'll start at 5. So it says, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no be called the Lady of Kingdoms." All right. Lady, queen. You got Gabarath. All right, Gabarath from Gabayar, which just means a ruler. Okay, and we see how America, sits as the hammer of the earth, ruling over all the kingdoms and such. Right? It says, "I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it." Okay? And the thing about Babylon the Great is that it will be touched. Okay? It's not going to be that virgin as it was, okay, because it's gonna see that sorrow, okay, as it's prophesied to have, okay. It's Ezekiel 38. It says in verse 10, it says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind," and this is with Gog and Magog with Russia, okay, "and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages here in Babylon the Great, America, which has a weak defense system, okay, and we know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has this place as a target for destruction. It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, okay, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land, okay. You have great destruction prophesied for America, all right. So yeah, I remember the co-worker mentioning his basically like Virginia, and then I'm also within this vision. No, it was like we were like he was talking, and then I don't know, it was like I don't know if he like disappeared or left, but then I remember I kept like looking out the window, and there was a woman, and it was some type of activity, something happened like out. I was looking out my window, and it was like at the different properties, the rear of the properties, these like small single level houses and such like that. They're very small, they're like military houses and stuff, and like a single very small family. Like you can only have like a probably like a kid and a child and a wife and yourself in it, because it's not that big. But you had it. It was something was going on, and then you had this like I remember it's also like a gas station or something like that too, somehow. But I remember just looking out, and there was a woman. She was like a black woman, but she had this very flashy jacket, and the jacket. On the jacket, it had like if you think about those Letterman jackets, them high school varsity jackets, it was like one of those. But on the jacket, it had something special, and it was crazy too, because I seen the person as like a fighter, like maybe like a female fighter or some sort or something, and like a boxer or something. But what it had on the jacket, like, because it was like she kept like turning around, or it was having it where it kept turning around so I could actually see what was on the jacket, and it actually zoomed in and everything too. And what was on the jacket was big. On the back of the jacket was big. It had second address 11, and on the back of the Letterman jacket. And then I remember it had on there also like some little like quotes and stuff, and it said expose her, like basically expose her. And it's funny too, because it was like the woman, I think about like a prophet in a sense, but it had second address 11 on there, which I believe that goes into like the different Caesars and such. Brothers could bring out the edification and such. But it goes into a lot of history. But second address 11 was on the back, and it said it was saying quotes of basically like exposed her and such, which we already know. This place is gonna be exposed, all right, as it shows you, in the scriptures about how abominable filth is gonna be cast on this place, right? This is Isaiah 47:3. It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." All right, and all of the different crimes and injustices that's done in America are being uncovered via the prophets. All right, so yeah, I remember I just ended up just waking up, but I was like kind of marveling at it was like a really cool little vision or dream, spiritual dream that came through, because I usually don't have those type of I don't have that many like dreams and stuff like that, so it was pretty cool, and then like I remember like the particular woman that had the so-called black woman, her hair was done. She had the shades on, the sneakers, and it was just like it was like an attraction, but that was basically it, so I say all of that just to say that this place definitely is through, from how the vision and dream I had. This is Isaiah 42:9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." All right, so the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, do the prophets, he of course tell us, which when the Lord tells us, he proclaims it. All right, and he speaks through visions, speak through other men, and such. He speak through the prophets, which we know all of that from the scriptures, as it tell you in Hebrews, right, first chapter. Yahweh Shem Al Shai, Hebrews 1:1, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. Okay, so the Lord speaks via the prophets. All right, and the prophets have visions and such. So that's through the Spirit. You got this off of Jason A. Breaking news: Trump has something big is about to happen. And look at this proud man.
Probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can.
Room after a deadly weekend in the Middle East. In Israel, 24 fatalities, 600 wounded.
I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you in Canada. But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can. We're going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early for obvious reasons. I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. And I think we got a lot done. Really a lot done. In fact, UK, we signed a big trade deal today, and we're working on others. But we had just a really great relationship with everybody, and it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand.
Yeah, you see, you got Macron from France. This particular parliament member from the United Kingdom, I forget his name, but yeah.
This is big stuff.
A little change to the president's schedule, as you know.
So, things are on the horizon. Things are here, man. They out the window. we can see it. So that's it through the Spirit. On a little vision I had. Acts 2:17, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Lord, I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. All right, so shalom to the elect.